Oh, okay. Sorry, I just was excited about that. Oh, Grace. Okay.
Good morning, second grade. So we are doing our Wednesday lesson, which is going to be for Unit 5, Week 1 on March 25th. I'm going to start off with showing you guys how to find your lessons if you have not printed them out. Let me share my screen and go to Class Dojo. So you're going to go to classdojo.com, scroll down, and then on, you're going to see on the 22nd, I have the PDF file that says U5W1. You're going to click on that, and then that's going to show you your lessons for today. So for today, Wednesday, you have on Wonders Connect Ed online, you're going to have your big book that you're going to read today, which is going to be your literature anthology. You're going to be reading Grace for President on pages 388 and to 409. You're also going to be doing your workbook, your CRC, which is your closed reading companion workbook, which is going to be on pages 133 to 135. So let me show you how to get there. So you're going to go to connected.com. And remember, you can go to the Whitman website to find that link. You're going to log into your account. And then you're going to click on your Blue Wonders Swordfish book. That's going to take you to ELA.
Yours, the student, yeah.
Once you go there, it'll take you there automatically, and then you're going to click on the blue button with the red book that says read. Now, you're going to see the story for this week, Grace for President, okay? Now, all of you should have also gone home with your closed reading companion, which I actually didn't bring home for myself.
CRC, I think I have one.
So if Ms. Dominguez is going to show you what the workbook looks like from the front cover, but if you're like me and you forgot it, see, I think, yep, that's Kaylee. So Kaylee has her, she's holding it up for you guys. That's her closed reading companion.
Got it, okay.
And then what you will do is if you for some reason don't have it, your closed reading companion pages will also be online as well. So you can do it either or.
Here it is.
That's Ms. Dominguez's copy. Now, you guys can do it either online or paper and pencil, but you will not be turning these in, okay? So Ms. Dominguez and I will not be grading these. So if you choose to do them, then you know that is an assignment you are supposed to complete. But if you don't do it for some reason, or you know if your answers are wrong, Ms. Dominguez and I don't have a way to check them. If you're unsure and you want us and you're not sure if you're correct, you can message Ms. Dominguez or I, and then we will help you. Okay, so this is more of an activity we want you guys to just do for review. Perfect. So that's going to be on page, let's see, that's
133.
133, that's what Ms. Dominguez is holding up right now, okay? Now, I'm gonna show you by clicking on each of these links. So this is Grace for President. When you click on Grace for President, it's going to take you to our story. Now again, you can click on these arrows or on these arrows to go back and forth. Oh, maybe not that one, right here. And then remember, if you want to read it yourself, you can read it yourself. Or if you want the computer to read it for you, it will read the story for you. So watch.
Grace listened to what issues were important to the students, and she made a list of campaign promises.
So you guys will be reading the story of Grace for President today. Now, it's a good idea for you guys to read it 3 times, because Grace for President is going to be one of the stories you're going to have to take an assessment on. The assessment is for your selection test. And then tomorrow, if you log in, Ms. Dominguez and I will be going over the answers to your selection test, as well as reviewing your comprehension test. Okay.
It is one of the longer stories, so reading it 3 times is a very good idea.
Mm-hmm. And then this will be your CRC. So if you don't have your book, the pages that Ms. Dominguez just showed you guys, this is the same exact pages, okay? So you guys can also do it online. And so right here, and you can actually even write in these boxes. So the question says, reread page 390, so you'll reread it. Talk about what Grace says and what is on the wall behind her. Write clues from the text in the illustration, then write how they show what will happen next. So maybe for the, on the wall, there are pictures of presidents. And then so in each of these little boxes, and even down here, you can add sentences. So you can even type everything online for your CRC, or you can do it in your workbook, whatever you prefer, okay? Once you are done with that, leave. And then you don't have to save those changes or anything. This is just for, unless your parents want you to do that so that they can check your work, okay? So that's gonna be your homework for today for ELA, okay? It shouldn't take you very long. The next one is going to be math. So again, let's review how to get to math. I know a lot of you guys are having trouble, and it seems like there's still a handful of you guys who have not logged onto Pearson at all. Ms. Dominguez and I were able to help a lot of people yesterday. So if you were one of those students who still can't log in, please let us know, okay? For math, you are going to go to Whitman website. If you brought a Chromebook home, you can even do it from your bookmarks. Under your bookmarks, under Whitman, if you click on that, it'll have the Pearson math. The reason why you can't just go to pearson.com is because we need the specific school URL. It's super duper long, as you guys can see. So I'll just log in with Ivana since it's right here. And then you're going to click on this one right here, okay? Envision Math California Common Core Grade 2 for your teacher. And then we are doing lesson 15-9. And tomorrow is you should have do all of your lessons. So then first you're gonna always go to browse first. Don't take your digital quick check until the end. 15-9. And then you are going to click on the eye, and then you will watch the video. So I will play the video for you guys. I know some of you guys are having trouble, so this is just a quick way for you guys to see it. All right, and I will just read each of the words to you guys. So this is the last lesson in topic 15. Read and understand. How can you measure an object that is not straight? Let's find out. Look at the snake. How is the snake different from other objects you have measured? It is not what? Not straight. Perfect. I saw some of you guys going like this, so. The snake is not straight, the other objects were. Plan. To measure straight objects, you used a ruler. Can you use a ruler to measure an object that is not straight? Nope.
Nope.
No, you can't use a ruler to measure an object that is not straight. What can you use to measure an object that is not straight? And now this is Ms. Dominguez and I actually already cut out pieces of yarn for you guys because we were going to use yarn, but obviously we're not at school right now.
I had string too.
Yeah, so you guys are going to need to find something. Like you guys can use a shoelace if your family does have yarn. Do you have any other ideas, Ms. Dominguez?
I said ribbon. Ribbon might work. String that your mom might have in a drawer. Something that you can maneuver. It's going to take a little maneuvering here, but those are the three. I think the shoelace is a terrific idea.
Yeah, so whatever you guys can use, okay?
Take your dad's shoelace, but give it back.
You can use string to measure an object that is not straight. How can you use a string to measure the snake? You can line up the string with the snake, then mark the end of the snake on the string. So like that would be like the end right there. After measuring the snake with the string, what do? You can straighten the string. So let's say that this was the end. You're going to straighten the string out. and then you're gonna measure it on the ruler, solve, look back, and check. The snake is about 5 inches long. So if we pulled that snake all the way out, then that's how long the snake would be. How do you know the snake is about 5 inches long? You place the string along the snake. When you straighten the string and measured it with the ruler, the length of the string was about 5 inches. Now you know how to use objects to solve a problem. Okay, so that is your lesson for today. You will need string to do your assignments, okay? Now, if for some reason you cannot find your workbook pages, what you will do is you're gonna click exit, and then all of your workbook pages are here. There's reteaching. You can use a string to measure a path that is not straight. First, place the string on top of the path, then use a ruler to measure the string. So this is about, remember, we taught you guys about when it's not exactly at the 6 or the 5. What you're gonna do is you're gonna look at the halfway mark. If it's underneath, if it's shorter than the halfway mark, if it's on this side, you guys can't see my finger, but if it's on the left-hand side of the arrow, then it's gonna be closer, it's gonna be about 5 inches. If it's, yes?
Okay.
If it's on the right side of the arrow, then it's gonna be about 6 inches, okay? So kind of like more on, no. 4 or less, let it rest. 5 or more, let it soar. So this halfway mark actually means 5. So if you guys, well, usually how many ticks are there, Ms. Dominguez? I'm not doing so well.
Well, each one on a ruler, this is the way they set it up. Each ruler can be a little different, but there's usually about 4. In some, there are a little more. But remember, you use the inch side. Does anybody have their ruler sitting there?
I do.
Oh, gotcha. Really swell. Do you notice how it depends on the maker of the ruler, actually. Sometimes they just put 4. Sometimes they put quite a few.
But this one has a lot more than the one.
You can distinguish the 5 or more or whatever because the line's a little bit bigger than the others before you get to the top number, like 6.
Let me see if I have a pen so I can mark my halfway marks. I see Lisa has hers. So if you have like a pencil, that can work too. So I'm gonna mark the halfway marks for you guys so you guys can see it better.
I gave my rulers out. I should have brought one. Maybe I should get one.
Okay, so I marked the halfway mark so you guys can see it a little better. So do you see that dark black? Those are your halfway marks, okay? So let's say that I measured something. Like I'm gonna measure the cap of my expo marker. If I measure the cap of my oh, that's not my expo, okay. If I measure the cap of my expo marker and it is, it's past 1, but it's closer to the 1 than is the 2 because the halfway mark is, if it was on this side of it, then it would be more of the 2. But because it's on this side of the 1, it's going to be, and I just realized that I may have done the wrong one.
What?
No, I didn't.
You're fine. You're fine.
So that one would mean that this is closer to being 1 inch.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense. So on your homework, it's closer to the 6 because of the half. It passes that halfway mark, so it'll be about 6 inches. You're going to use a string to measure the path, then measure the string with a ruler. So this would be about 3, and then you need to do it with this one
and see what you get.
And then your practice, you have more things. So this one, it looks like you're gonna need a bit of a longer string, okay? So make sure you do those. Now, if you finish your math homework quickly and you wanna do more math, there's an enrichment, okay? So this enrichment is not in your workbook. You can measure the length of each string and then write the inches, and then which 2 strings have a total length of 12 inches. So let's say this one was 6 and this one was 6, then it would be string A and C because it's 6 plus 6 equals 12. I haven't measured them yet, so I'm not sure if my answers are correct.
What does 12 inches give you? If
Raise
you
your
had
hand if you think you know that answer.
Okay.
All
What
right.
does it give you? It would be 1 foot. Very good. I can see Carly's got her hand.
Okay.
Got her hand.
I don't want to share. I didn't want to turn off my screen just yet.
No. I just thought they put their hands up. Oh, good. That's a good one too.
So this one is the center activities. Now, the center activities are super fun games that you could play with someone in your house. So you would need to get, you don't have to get red squares, but just get the numbers 1 through 8, and then any like shape or thing. So 20 red squares, it's just like these little, like, I don't know, like think of like checker pieces, okay? Just like little the things. You can use erasers, you can use, I don't know, dice, you can use
What about buttons?
buttons, perfect. To measure a curvy path, line up the side of squares along the path. Then line them up on the ruler. Use a number tile to record the length of the path. Find and measure an object that is not straight. So you can find any object that you want in your home. So that's one activity. And then there's also one that has 2 stars. That's my description. The reason why it has 2 stars means it's a little more challenging. So if you want to play another game that's a little more challenging, the one with 2 stars, it says line up the sides, or is going to be a little more challenging. Of squares along a curvy object, remove them and line them up on the ruler. Find the length in inches. Use a number tile to record the length of the objects. Suppose this eel was twice as long. Tell how many inches it would be. So that's 2 questions. Suppose this jump rope was only half as long. How long would it be? You would have to cut it in half, divide it by 2. And if this kite string, so measure the kite string, don't measure the kite, start right here. If this kite string was 1 inch longer, how many inches would it be? So you would add +1. Answer the questions next to each object and make up your own questions like these. And then you can make up your own. You can measure out your dog or your flowers in your house. I don't know, okay? Your shoe, something. Okay, so that's gonna be math. And then, actually, I forgot to do the quick check. So once you guys have done that, and Yvonne, I hope you don't mind that I'm using your account because I'm gonna show everyone what you still need to complete. So remember, you are not being graded on your scores. So as of right now, Ivana has only completed 2 assignments. Now that's totally fine. However, if you are planning to take your test, because all of your assessments are going to be up on Friday, and I do want all of you guys to try and take your assessment on Friday, just because that way you can kind of get into that normal routine. Your assessment will be up for a whole week though. So if you don't have time to take your assessment on Friday, we will keep it up until next Friday. So you do have some extra time to finish all of your quick checks. However, we want you guys to try to stay on our routine that we're giving you. It's going to help you guys out a lot. So she still needs to do 5-2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You need to complete all of these digital quick checks if you're following our lesson plan by Thursday, okay? The additional practice is given to you guys if you don't get like 100% on a quick check. And remember, if you didn't get 100% on one of your quick checks, that's okay. We're not grading you on that. We just want to see if you guys are actually getting the work done. Because one of the things we don't want to see is you guys not doing any of the lessons and then you taking your math test on Friday and getting like a 10%. That's just, at least we see if you are doing this, then we see what you guys need help with. If we notice like, oh, Ivana did really good on 15-1 through 5, but she didn't do so well on 6 through 9, then maybe it's like, okay, I think she's having trouble with like the non-straight lines. And then we can reach out to you guys and say, hey, we noticed you need some help. How can I help you? So that's why these quick checks are useful to us as well. The additional practice is given to you when it as like remediation to help you review. So it's going to ask you, I believe, to rewatch the videos. So you're going to click on this, and I'm just going to do it for you, Ivana, and then if you want to do it on your own, you can, okay? So this is called enrichment, okay? Enrichment is going to be another worksheet for you to do. You can print these out, or you can, do your best to do it online. I know measurement is kind of hard to do on online because you actually need to measure, but you can just hold up some paper clips to your screen if you want, figure a way, maybe you can use some string. You're gonna measure these, and then when you're done, I'm gonna click mark as complete for you, okay, Ivana? You're gonna click mark as complete, and then it's gonna turn green and say completed. When you exit out, it's gonna be done. You can turn it in.
Then we can see it.
You have completed all parts. Are you ready? Yes, turn it off. Perfect. And then when you go back to assignments, you'll notice that it's gone now. Okay? So then if there are just way too many assignments and you say, Ms. Park, every single quick check, I got an extra assignment and I just don't have time to do them, that's okay. Okay, you can just kind of maybe talk through it, maybe look at the questions, and then with your parents, maybe you guys can do like a quick 1-minute refresh course, and then you can just click mark as completed, turned in, okay? So that way you don't have like a million assignments that are always there for you guys. We want it to be very manageable, okay? So please make sure you're turning in all of your assignments. As you can tell, all of you guys will have your practice test up already. Now your practice test is going to be a PDF. Same thing, you are going to need to print this out. This is going to help you with your test on Friday. If you have questions about what answers are or how to do it, message Mr. Mingus and I, and we will help you. You can send us photos through Class Dojo and we can help you with the answers. Or you can just ask your parents. Luckily, since you're in 2nd grade, a lot of these things are pretty manageable. And so you can ask your parents, a sibling, whoever lives with you that's maybe older than you so that they can help you with their math. So whatever you guys.
If you can not print it and you just write the answers on a sheet of paper, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But we do want you to have an opportunity to do it. So if you get stuck or the printer decides not to work, you can do it online, write it on a piece of paper. Good for you, because that's going to help you with the real test. All right?
Perfect. And then you guys don't need to sign out of your Pearson accounts. That way it'll always have your password saved and log you straight in. The next thing is going to be your science lessons. So Unit 3, Lesson 2, workbook pages 36 and 37. I have them right here.
Yep, I do too. Oh, okay.
And then you are also going to be doing workbook pages 38 and 39.
Yeah.
You're learning about earthquakes, landslides, floods, and volcanoes. And this is like a perfect time. There are so many fun activities you guys could do at home, creating earthquakes, creating volcanoes, creating floods. There's a lot of cool videos online. There's a lot of interactive videos where you do everything online. Like you put all these like mountains and houses, and then you click on like, let the flood hit, and then the flood destroys everything in your path. And so there's a lot of great simulations that you guys can look up on Google. There's a lot of cool YouTube videos that you guys can see of actual real disasters. So just please ask your parents for permission first. These are all real disasters. And so they actually do affect a lot of people. I was talking to Ms. Dominguez and Ms. Witcher the other day, and we were talking about how long time ago, when Miss Park was in junior high, New Orleans had their big flood from Hurricane Katrina. And so one of the students who was living in Louisiana at the time, her whole house was flooded, just like in this picture. And because her whole house was flooded like this, she couldn't live there anymore. And so not only were they couldn't go back to their schools, they couldn't even go back to their houses. And so she ended up having to move in with her auntie who lived in California. And so she finished out the school year at my school. And so that's how I met her, and that's how we became friends, because of something super sad. And so she told me that she couldn't keep anything because her whole house was so flooded. All of her clothes, all of her toys, all of her dolls, everything, it was destroyed. And even at their schools are flooded too. So all of their, their homework, all of their workbooks, their textbooks, everything that they normally use, like all of these, even like these workbooks that you guys are taking home or your Chromebooks, all of that was destroyed with all of that water. So sometimes those disasters are very, very scary and very sad. So before you guys watch any of those YouTube videos, we do want you guys to ask your parents, because we don't want you guys to see anything that might be a little, scary or inappropriate for your age. Okay? The next thing you're going to be doing is watching the video Earth Changes Quickly on the science website. A fun online activity you can do is, after disaster, go online and do an investigate and collect evidence by exploring after disaster flip cards. I think it's in connected, so let's find out. Nope.
Well, did it go to?
Okay, so we're gonna go to Connect Ed. You're gonna click on your Inspired Science textbook. And then let me see if we've already assigned you guys Earth Changes Quickly. I believe we already did.
Yeah.
So let's go to assignments, see what's there. Okay, Inquiry Rewind, which was yesterday. Earth Changes Slowly. So we do need to put up Earth Changes Quickly for you guys. Now, I believe you guys have options to be able to do it yourself, to look for it yourself. But I think you would just go to Browse Your Course, go to Unit 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then click on the nails, go to Lesson 2.
Yeah.
And then you guys can even watch the whole lesson. And then let's see, you guys have the phenomenon, the inquiry activity, there's science songs you guys can watch, Earth Changes Quickly, that's gonna be I believe that's the assignment, learn about floods, inquiry activity, close reading, changing, vocabulary. I think this is the vocabulary cards you guys can do. Interactive present.
One thing I was looking
Yes.
for them is the videos. Do they know how to get to the videos? There it is.
Okay, so I'm going to add this to your student page, include in presentation, and I'm just going to assign it so you guys have access to it.
Okay.
And then make sure that, I believe for Connect Ed as well, you have to turn them in. So even though it's just a video, once you've watched it, turn it in so that we know that you've done it.
Wow.
And then I think that's all of the assignments that you guys need. Let me see if the vocabulary cards are something you guys have access to. Okay, I'm gonna add this to the student page.
Okay.
And then add this to the student page. Okay, so everything should now be up for you guys. If you have trouble finding anything, let us know. I think that's it for science. Now let's go to the 5 things. Again, same thing, spelling, vocabulary, wonders, words to know. So if I go back to my program, and then let me also go to Spelling City. And remember, all of these websites can be found on the Whitman website as well. So I'm going to click on Student Edition. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask so you guys can see everything. Okay. I wonder if I can log in as a student. Nope, none of you guys. Actually, I can. Let's do. No, yeah, let's do. Luna. Oh no, you guys have to sign in with Google. No wonder. So click sign in with Google, and then here's Kira's. And so remember, again, okay, you never do the real test when you guys are Monday through Thursday. You are not going to take the real one. So you're going to click on spelling. You're going to click on test. And then, can you guys still see my screen? Actually, I just realized that.
Yeah, they're all shaking their heads.
You guys can see the spelling city screen? Perfect. Okay. So then you're gonna click on practice spelling test. And then after you're done, you're gonna go to vocabulary, click on test, and then take the practice vocabulary test. Once you guys are done with all of your 5 things, you can go on games. Make sure you play spelling games for spelling, vocabulary games for vocabulary, and then during your computer free time that your parents give you, you guys can do any of the other games that you want. Once you've done your spelling games, spelling and vocabulary practice tests, you're gonna go to games. You're gonna click on grammar and mechanics, and it's the same grammar and mechanics activities that you've done Monday through Wednesday. Or Tuesday, you're gonna continue to do them again because we're hoping that by Thursday you can get 100% on all of it. When you're done, you can play any of these other activities on Wonders, or you can also go to Typing Club. And then again, for those of you who guys haven't seen it, Typing Club is a free website that you guys can use. There's also Read Theory. So if some of your parents are asking, what can I do where I can practice my comprehension skills, Read Theory is awesome. It's a free website where it gives you stories and then you answer questions, okay? So you start with the lesson here, and then if you are a fluent writer and you've been doing this, for some reason it's
So, I hear you want to type like a pro.
For some reason it's not saving.
Finger positioning. Look at the F and J keys on your keyboard. Do you see the bumps on each key? Close your eyes and feel for the bumps using your 2 index fingers. Take your time, but don't look. Did you get it? Your index fingers should always find their way back to F and J.
So for some reason, I don't know why that was doing that, but so I'm skipping out all the way to lesson number 77. Now, as you can see, they're not capitalizing words yet. So you're not working on capitalization, but you can skip around. Even though it was locked, you are able to actually still unlock it. So watch, if I wanna go to, let's say I wanna go to muscle memory. It's locked. Are you sure? I highly recommend going through every lesson and not jumping ahead. However, if you're confident of your typing skills, you may continue. So I'm gonna click continue, and then now you're gonna write. So you need to follow what it says here. So this one, it's using your middle finger to do I, and then it's using your index finger on your left side to do the T, and then using your thumb on your right side to press the space bar. So this is what you're doing, okay? And then hopefully, oh, see, I'm already messed up. And it tells you if you messed up. Hopefully you guys are able to get more fluent at writing, especially since we're doing a lot more typing. So you can see how fast you're writing. So this is words per minute. So right now, if I was typing this, so the fastest it looked like I wrote was 90 words per minute. So a lot of you guys can read 90 words per minute, but can you type 90 words per minute, okay? So that's what we want you guys to work on at home so that you can get faster at your typing skills, okay? And make sure you're not typing like I think that's it. I mean, the last thing's super easy. Do 20 minutes of activity. So yesterday, Miss Park, I watched Cosmic Kids, and I even sent it to some of my friends who have kids so that they can do it. So lots of fun activities for you guys to do at home. I think that's all of your lessons for today. Tomorrow, please log in. I want everyone. So I'm even gonna maybe check on some of you guys who haven't been. And I want you to at least print out the story Prairie Dog Rolls. You don't need to print out helping Miss Park if you don't want to, or if you don't have enough ink. But I do want you guys to print out Prairie Dog rules so that you can highlight and go over the story with Miss Dominguez and I tomorrow, okay? I think that is it now. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, and then I'm gonna end our conference for today, and then we have about 20 more minutes so you guys can ask questions. And then once that's all over, you guys can, if we still have time, you guys can spend the next 20 minutes just hanging out and talking to each other, okay? Let me stop